This suspenseful political thriller takes place in the ancient capital of Luoyang, when China was ruled by the only empress to rule in its history. Conspiracies abound in this story that deals with loyalty, love, revenge, and redemption. Created by the same writers of The Longest Day in Chang'an, does Luoyang make its own mark and deserve a seat at the top of other historical political thrillers, such as Nirvana in Fire to name a few? In my first impression video, I gave Luoyang a B+. Let's dive a little bit deeper and go over some of the things that I liked and some of the things that I didn't like so much. What's up, Sunny fams? Welcome back to another video, and we get together each and every week to catch up to some of our favorite Asian dramas, and this time around it's Luoyang. I just finished Luoyang and
Jonathan from Chinese Dramaland, and I want to thank Watching Sundays for having me.
I just finished
Jonathan from Chinese Dramaland, and I want to thank Watching Sundays for having me. This is my final summarized review of Luoyang. I'm gonna explore its complex network of intertwined stories and various characters, as well as the most memorable moments that left an everlasting impression of me while watching it. Luoyang is a historical suspense drama starring Wang Xuan, Wang Yibo, Victoria Song, and Song Yi. The drama is adapted from the novel of the same name by author Ma Boyong, who also wrote the 2019 drama The Longest Day in Chang'an, which is one of my favorite Chinese dramas. The drama was produced by Liuobai Entertainment and IGE. Luoyang is set in the Asian capital Luoyang during the era of 13 dynasties and revolves around 3 people who come together to investigate a series of mysterious incidents involving the conspiracy to overthrow Empress Wu Zetian, the only empress to ever rule China. This drama combines martial arts and characters from a few layers of olden society in a rich historical setting of the Zhou dynasty, the time of the great rule of Empress Wu Zetian. Our story starts in the later years of her reign in the capital city of the Zhou dynasty. Luoyang, a lively industrious port, whose dark underbelly is known as the Unwelcome Well. We are thrown into the first heat of action as the first few scenes shows the importance of an informer's life, and how every different actor on the stage makes moves to help them or contain them. In this battle to uphold the empress's reign, but even more importantly, to protect and save the lives of common people. We meet 4 individuals with varying backgrounds and outlooks on life. The drama is abundant with the presence of numerous characters, barely passing under 30 character introductions in the first few episodes, with more following later on as the new cases for the investigation turns up. At the core of the story, we meet Gao Bingju, played by Wang Xuan, a mortician of the Court of Judicial Review, a rather dark and shrewd person whose entire existence is based on getting revenge. Is one of the many murders we see during the unfolding of the story, as Luoyang spares no one in such a feat. Wu Zeyue, a part of the inner guards under the command of her brother, is a run-of-the-mill strong female character who's justice-driven and has a decent moral compass, but even though she has a few shining moments, it's always in the most dangerous of situations that she needs to be saved by someone else. The slow development of her relationship was interesting to watch in the first third of the drama. However, in the second half, the romance just happens out of nowhere, and both of their characters do a 180-degree turn for the worst, and the main lead has more chemistry with practically any antagonist female character than her. Bai Hongyi, played by Wang Yibo, a counselor of the Ministry of Works, is a studious person who only looks after his affairs but starts opening up due to meeting his new friends and wife. Liao Ren, played by Song Yi, the newly wedded wife of Lang, is a woman of such older standards of human society, where her whole worldview centers on her husband, and thus in the process of the story, she becomes just an extension of his existence. The empress in later dynasties, formerly known as Wu Zetian, played by Yongmei, appears like a calm and everlasting being who is above everyone, consistently questioning the forces that work for her and always ready to strike out at them. Besides the impressive cinematography, sets and costumes used by the characters, the pacing is great at the start, but eventually, the story starts to drag and it becomes apparent that the drama could have been better with a shorter running time. Luoyang's undoing is in its story and its overall unlikable characters. The main leads are average at best when it comes to how interesting they are to watch, and the supporting characters are often ruined and discarded by the necessity of the plot without us even seeing the full extent of their stories. It's always positive to have a drama set in the Zhou dynasty, as it was the only time in which women were able to be officers or to work at the court during the grand history of China, and we see this difference in treatment in marriage scenes or casual comments of divorce from the bride's family. An aspect of the story that actors was the excessive usage of crying, as the immersion was constantly being broken due to these scenes. The sound effects, cues and all of the songs that we hear during the viewing are well-placed emotional triggers that only support and in no way hinder the scenes we see. The background music accompanies the scenes beautifully, even much more so in the scenes that show off martial arts. The only remark I have is the weird shouting sound we hear every time my dead body is in a scene, as it's both jarring and has unwanted comedic effect. For the first third of the drama, I've enjoyed Luoyang with a pace that left us attached to our screens, beautiful visuals, camera shots and combat, as well as excellent acting across the board, and there was little to be picky about when it comes to this drama shortcomings. However, all of that falls into the water when the next 2/3 of the drama comes in and the overall quality starts rapidly evaporating from the drama. The filler content in terms of flashbacks, unnecessary plots that don't go anywhere, the awkward romance between the main characters, plot holes and characters doing things that otherwise don't make sense but they have to for that plot, waste of good cast and good acting on a superb story, as well as the insultingly bad ending, has led me to rate Luoyang a B-. There's a similarity between Luoyang and the 2019 drama The Longest Day in Chang'an, a drama that Luoyang ultimately didn't live up to.
Of course, if you didn't notice his voice, that was Jonathan from Chinese Dramaland. We've been talking for quite some time now and we finally got a chance to work together. If you want to know everything about Chinese Dramaland and what's coming and what's being anticipated, then head over to Jonathan's channel, Chinese Dramaland. Once again, I want to thank Jonathan for joining me in this video. It's been such an honor and such a treat. Make sure you check out his channel. The link will be in the description below. You know, the drama really started off with a huge bang. It was fast-paced, it was riveting, it was action-packed. But then it really slowed down to a snail's crawl. It started to get repetitive and very formulaic in terms of the pacing of the story. But luckily, towards the end, it started to pick up again. It started to get exciting. But as far as solving the mystery and who the big bad villain was, I pretty much guessed who it was 10 episodes before the end. Overall, it was an enjoyable story, but I'd love to know what you thought of the drama and leave those comments in the section below. In any case, that is it for me, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by. Happy Chinese New Year. Leave us a like, subscribe if you haven't already, tap that bell so you know when we post new videos, and once again, I'll see you next time.
Hey, stop, 왜 자꾸 들었다 놨다 해 헷갈리게 친절은 사양할게 오해하게 하지 말아요 날 yeah 들어봐 가뭄 같은 마음엔 뭐라도 단비가 돼요